You might have just stayed home.
Well, it wasn't pay-per-view then, but yeah.
Well, that's the thing, though. Back then, that was the only way you could.
All right, should have went to Reading High. And they had closed circuit up there.
My number 2 is from WrestleMania 20. It was supposed to be a very good match. It should have been, if all the things worked right, but no one gave a shit about it, really, in the end. Brock Lesnar versus Goldberg. Goldberg wasn't happy. He sat out a month after the Rumble, leading up to Lesnar. The whole build-up was Lesnar and Austin, while Goldberg just sat at home.
Well, the Rumble, Brock came out and F5'd him.
Yeah, but then he didn't, like, do anything, though.
And then they just...
Yeah. And then they just fought, and the fans knew, because they're smart fans like us.
They were booing both.
Yeah, that's why I said they knew. They were both leaving.
Yeah.
It was their last match.
Lesnar wanted to go with football, and Goldberg didn't want his... Yeah, his contract was up. No one cared.
And you can see they really didn't put much into it either.
Yeah, yeah.
They really didn't care about it. They knew they just had to be there because they were contract to be there.
Yeah.
It was their last match.
I think Vince had originally scheduled that. That was going to be a big match.
Yeah, that should have been the main event.
Like the third match of the Niners up. He just threw it in.
Yeah.
They threw Stone Cold as a special guest referee. You wouldn't even
people
want
would care.
to.
Yeah, otherwise it really would have been booed to hell. I guess that's the closest we'll ever get to Austin versus Goldberg, him stunning Goldberg at the end. That was Lesnar's swan song in WWE, gets stunned by Austin.
I think they threw it in early, so that way they can just get out.
Yeah.
And
they probably weren't that welcome backstage by the rest of the guys. They weren't welcomed by the New York fans, that was sure.
Lost.
Yeah.
Goldberg won that match.
Yeah. I remember reading, like, online, like, they're like, the word backstage is they don't know who's going to win this match yet because no one cares. Because they're just both leaving, no one cares.
I thought it would have just been like a double DQ or Stone Cold would have stunned them both. And
they just walked away.
Yeah. But, go ahead, Jew.
Well, my number 1 is what your number 2 was Brock and Goldberg, much for all the same reasons. It just, both guys were leaving. They didn't give a shit. You could tell. I mean, you know, it's pretty sad when the fucking referee is getting allowed at the top of the night. Yeah, it was just terrible.
Yeah.
And they were both putting on lackluster performances. Yeah, I mean, you're leaving. You know, you should give a decent performance on your way out.
Yeah.
Or Vince should have just dropped the match or something, you know, or said, all right, you get out there, and that could have been a fucking
9-second match.
Kane and Chavo, you know. They come out, Austin, stunner, bam, okay, match is over.
Yeah, he drinks beers for 20 minutes. That's better. Yeah.
That would have been more entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My number 1 is last year's WrestleMania, where Rey Mysterio beat JBL in like 8 seconds.
Yeah.
I just thought it was a shame for JBL, who deserved much better.
That was going to make it on my list.
And it's not even that JBL lost that bothered me, because we all knew he was going to lose.
Yeah, he lost. Yeah, it was 21 seconds or something
but
like that.
It's his last match, and it was his hometown, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was in Houston.
And he deserved better.
Yeah, he could have went out in a better way.
He could have had a decent match back and forth, and Ray beats him fine, but let JBL, that was embarrassing. He deserved much better than that.
Yeah.
It made it look like he was George Wells. Nobody.
Or as D. Jones.
And then he couldn't even break character to like get on the mic and say thank you to everybody. And
he just had to say, I quit.
Like Lita, when she left, she was a heel, so she couldn't.
I hate that Vince does that. The heels are just as good as the good guys in real life.
True.
They have a career, they have feelings.
Yeah,
They're not robots.
My number 1 is their number 2's.
That was his number 1.
Well, it is number 1.
Goldberg and Brock.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just because that's what it was.
I can't think of any more matches.
My number 1 was Joe's number 3, Big Show versus Floyd Mayweather. Just because it sucked. It really did. I wasn't even looking forward to it. When I heard about it, I'm like, no.
But on the box, it's like the whole cover of the box is like Big Show and Mayweather, right?
Don't you get it? We don't pay to see boxing. We pay to see wrestling. It's WrestleMania, not Boxamania. From Butterbean and Bart Gunn and Mr. T and Piper. Why does it not get in your head? We don't want to see boxing. We want to see wrestling. You know what I mean?
You don't order a boxing pay-per-view and have a wrestler on there.
No. next they'll be having a track match where they're running and
Jumping hurdles.
yeah,
Well, all these NASCAR drivers that are guest hosts, they'll be the next
yeah.
Indy 500 mania or
The next
something.
steel cage, you have to pole vault over the cage.
You know, who knows with Vince these days? But yeah,
Whoever lands in the back row.
and like Joe said, it took like 10 or 12 guys to put Big Show down. And how is that fair? Is that how it is in boxing? 12 guys can beat up a guy, and you know, I don't think so.
If I remember correctly, it was just Mayweather dodging him.
Yeah,
Big Show get him in the corner and swing, and Mayweather duck and run.
yeah. It was supposed to be a match.
And then
It wasn't technically a boxing match, I don't think.
Kid hit him with chairs.
Yeah, that's why.
And then all of a sudden it was a no disqualification, so we can use chairs.
Yeah,
and have
yeah, and
all
all
the
the,
subs come in.
yeah. It was just a waste of time.
Yeah.
And you know, and like we said about the boxing, like Big Show versus that Ake Bono at the one WrestleMania,
Yeah.
it was like a throw-in type of thing. It's like, why does the Big Show always get wasted?
Same with that sumo wrestling.
Hey!
Hey, it looks like we didn't pay the bill this week.
Vince is turning us off.
He doesn't like all this negative talk about WrestleMania.
Well, the other thing is too, like guys, like we've said too, like sometimes they bring in these stars that have no respect for the business and stuff, and they just like look like they don't want to be there. They half-ass their thing, and the only one that I could say that had like a halfway decent showing was Lawrence Taylor. I believe it was WrestleMania 12.
Bam Bam.
But he really respected the guys, and he actually took the time to train and learn how to do moves and all that stuff, you know. So I mean, I enjoyed that, you know, because he put something into it. Like Floyd Mayweather, he said it from when he first showed up. After he punched Big Show the first time, so I'm just here for a paycheck.
He pulled a Kevin Nash.
At least he found the place.
Yeah, it's true. So that's this week's top 5, I suppose. I just wanted to say something because I watched the last time I hosted back, I got cut off before I gave my number 1. I didn't realize it till this week. I watched it back and I was like, hey, they didn't hear my number 1. So that top 5 was worst wrestling moves. My number 1, the answer you need is Bronco Buster. So that's it for that top 5. And that's it for this week, I guess. You guys good? You want to say anything?
Nope. We're good.
All right.
Once again,
next week.
pick up Dude's new movie. Worth seeing.
All right. I'm sure he'll be glad you're plugging that for him.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, he plugged that.
You're the
What
person
is
who bought a fucking Vince McMahon Monday Night Raw every
Yeah.
5 minutes.
The Marine. Have a match.
RVD.
He's a Marine.
Pick it up. Pick it up.
When you look and see you sold 1 copy, you know who has it.
We plug that more than our own show.
Yeah.
All right. So we will catch you all next week for some more wrestling news.